India's shipyards are working at a blistering pace, rolling out heavy, blue-water combatants designed to project power across the Indian Ocean. But underneath this massive surface fleet lies a gaping tactical blind spot, a vulnerability that could render these billion-dollar warships useless before they ever leave port. Right now, the Indian Navy operates exactly 0 dedicated mine countermeasure vessels. Their last functional minesweeper was a vintage Soviet-era ship, and when that ship was finally retired in 2019, it wasn't replaced. For years, India's coastal defenses and harbor approaches have operated completely blind to underwater explosives. Naval mines are a lethal asymmetric threat. These cheap, submerged explosives can choke off harbor approaches and cripple an advanced warship with a single detonation. India has spent decades forging a massive maritime sword to project power outward, but they completely forgot the shield. Without a way to queer these underwater threats, major economic choke points like Mumbai remain entirely exposed to the cheapest forms of naval sabotage. Over in Tokyo, lawmakers are unwinding decades-old defense policies. After operating under a strict post-World War II pacifist constitution, Japan is actively expanding its military footprint. They are doing this by deliberately exporting advanced military hardware to trusted partners, building a regional network to counter rising belligerence in the Indo-Pacific. This strategy led to a highly specific offer to New Delhi: full design transfer and local co-production rights for Japan's highly advanced Mogami-class stealth frigate. Bringing in a foreign warship might seem counterintuitive to India's aggressive domestic shipbuilding goals, but the Mogami is an entirely different type of vessel. It's a specialized hybrid. Instead of dragging heavy sweeping gear, the Mogami features a specialized rear ramp for releasing unmanned drones. These remote drones move miles ahead of the mothership, actively mapping the seafloor and neutralizing minefields autonomously, keeping the crew out of the blast zone. By embedding this drone stability into a heavily armed frigate, the Indian Navy instantly plugs its mine warfare gap. They avoid spending years and billions of dollars developing a separate, highly vulnerable fleet of single-purpose minesweepers. Beyond mine clearance, the Mogami delivers 2 specific technological leaps to the Indian Navy. The first is the unicorn mast. Instead of bolting dozens of separate antennas all over the ship, Japanese engineers enclosed everything inside a single, smooth, spire-shaped housing. Removing that traditional web of protruding wires drastically reduces the radar cross-section, turning a massive warship into a true stealth platform. The second leap is extreme automation. For context, an Indian Nilgiri-class frigate requires roughly 250 sailors to operate. The Mogami relies on advanced sensor fusion and an augmented reality combat center. This shrinks that crew requirement down to just 90 personnel. Cutting the crew size by over 60% does 2 things. It dramatically reduces the life cycle expenses of the ship, and it vastly extends the amount of time the vessel can remain deployed at sea without resupplying. Tokyo's proposal serves as a technological bridge. It permanently injects next-generation Japanese automation and stealth architecture directly into India's naval bloodstream. Because this deal falls under the Make in India initiative, these ships will be constructed in domestic shipyards and armed with local firepower, like the BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles. Securing a comprehensive transfer of technology agreement guarantees that Indian engineers will absorb these rapid construction methodologies, permanently expanding India's domestic maritime industrial capabilities. This coordination reaches across the Indo-Pacific. Australia is also slated to procure variants of the Mogami-class for its own navy. This creates a network of interoperable stealth platforms across multiple Quad nations. Navies using the same hardware can share maintenance hubs, rely on unified supply chains, and seamlessly coordinate joint operations in real time. Japan's offer to India is a highly calculated geopolitical maneuver. It is the architectural blueprint for a unified, automated naval wall designed to protect the rules-based order of the Indo-Pacific. And it proves that a historically pacifist nation is now willing to forge new swords to secure its own backyard.